Okay, so here we are again. We're going to do lesson 2 now for 7 to 10-year-olds, and we're going to do a flamingo, and we're going to do markers. So you're going to need a number 2 pencil. If it has one of these erasers, great, or a regular eraser, Sharpie, and then Crayola markers, Blue Lagoon, orange, and that'll be it. Okay, so we're going to start with step 1. And we're going to start with the largest shape first, which is almost an egg shape. Okay, and I like to dot out my shape, and again, this is a precursor to sketching. So there's one oval. I'm going to go ahead and draw it. Well, actually, it's my egg shape, but and if you remember, I'm using a darker pencil than you. Okay, and the next will be this shape right here, which is another oval. And then we're going to do a teardrop shape, and I'm going to go ahead and mark that before I draw the other one. Okay, now that I've got what I like, I'm going to go ahead and draw over it. And there you go, step 1. Step 2, we're going to add and we're going to take away. So let's start by erasing. So we're going to erase this line and this line and this line, okay? So go ahead and erase from here to here, here to here, and here to here. Okay, and then this line. Be sure to hold your paper real good so you don't fold it up by accident or crinkle it. Erase it as well as you can. And again, I'm using a darker pencil so mine won't erase so well. Now we're going to connect this right here. So I'm going to take a line straight across, and then I'm going to erase the extra stuff right there. Okay, and then I'm going to make a curve here, connect these with a curve. And then I'm going to erase the extra stuff. Okay, and there we have the beginnings. Now we're going to cut this off at a rectangle, so we're just going to draw a line straight down and erase this part. Okay, so now this is what you should have. And we're going to go on to adding the neck. And the reason we're using shapes is so you get a fuller drawing. If we were just drawing lines, then you may get it too narrow. Okay, so we're going to start with this oval right here, and I'm going to dot it. And it only comes down that far on the beak. So I'm going to make sure I'm only that far on the beak. Okay, and the next one is, if you put your pencil in it, it would be at an angle. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I have my angle. And I'm going to draw that one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw these now so I can see them nice and good. Okay, and I'm going to do my last one. You can see it's fatter than these. Okay, and we're going to start right here, and we're going to go down, and we're this far from the bottom. We're that far from the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to mark that with, I can just use my fingertip, will be fine. Okay, and there you have step 2. Once you draw that bottom oval. I got mine a little fatter, that's okay. If you don't do it exact, it's okay. We'll get better with practice. All right, so now we're going to work on this neck some more. I'm going to start by adding these 2 lines right here. So it just comes from that bottom of that oval down to the bottom of the paper. I'm going to do another one right here. Okay, then I'm going to smooth out these lines. I'm going to connect here with a line. I'm going to connect here with a line. And I'll do the same thing out here. I'm going to connect this with the line. And I'm going to connect this with the line. And I'm going to connect here with the line. Now I'm going to start erasing. So I'm going to erase this one, all this in here, this, and this. Okay, from side to side. So I'm going to start here at the top and begin erasing. Now I'm not going to erase all of this line. I'm not going to erase all that one. I'm only going to erase part of it. So I'm going to erase from here up. And again, my pencil lines won't erase as nice as yours because you're using a number 2 pencil. So you'll see a lot of my lines still here, whereas yours won't be. And erase as best as you can, holding your paper really good so you don't crinkle it up. And look how far we are already. That didn't take much time at all. Now we're going to connect this here, whereas my mark was up here before. Now I've got it further down. I'm going to erase that other line. Okay, now I'm going to work on the beak. And I'm going to draw this shape first right here. Okay, just going to go ahead and figure it's going to go about halfway up. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that and then draw it. Now, this isn't in the, this line going up starts in the middle here, but it comes real close to this side over here. Okay, it's not in the middle and it's not near this side, it's near this side. So I'm going to start by marking that. And I want to be in the middle up here. Okay, so I'm going to curve that. And now I'm going to draw it. Okay, there's step 3. Step 4, we're going to put the eye in. And we're going to use a circle that ends into the beak. So our line may go into the beak here. Okay, but we're only going to draw this part above the beak. And then we have a little circle inside the eye, and then another little circle inside that. Okay, and there you have it. Now we're ready to ink. So take your Sharpie and go over all the lines that remain, being sure not to mark any of the lines that you erased. And I'm starting with the beak. It's the furthest thing from my right hand, and I'd much rather not have my hand sitting in all the ink until it dries. If you miss the line, that's okay, because you're going to be erasing the pencil line. Being careful here not to mark anything that you erased. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the eye. If I'm ahead of you, just pause the movie, pause the video, and catch up. Okay, so I've got it all inked. Now I'm going to hold my paper really good and erase all my pencil lines, making sure my paper is not loose where I could crinkle it up. And you can turn your paper however you need to so that you can erase. Okay, and wipe off your paper really good and get it all that eraser stuff off. And now we can start and we're going to start with our bird, and the reason is because you can do the background after I show you how. You can do that on your own. And this is for the sake of the time of the video. So here we have a white area. So we're going to be sure not to mark that. And we're just going to go across like this, wiggle a line down, and then we're going to inline. And the heater just came on. I hope you can hear me. Trying to get a fat line by using as much of the tip as you can. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go around the eye and around the beak. Turning my paper so I can get it marked without going into the eye. Now we're going to inline the bird's head and neck. Laying the pin down as much as I can to get as fat of a line. Not using the point, but using the side. If you miss an area, just come back and you can use the point at that part where you missed. Okay, and I just need to finish here on the head and I'll be ready to start coloring in, and we're not going to use the scribble scrabble method. We're going to do lines. So you're going to start at the top and go down, using as much as the pen tip as you can. Try not to leave these little white dots. Go ahead and start up in the pink and go down to the pink. And keep going until you get to your squiggly line. I'm not quite going down to the pink, but I'm just going to fill those in real quick. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to go in and out to get that line there. There we are. Okay, we've already got the beak done. So now I'm going to continue with lines, getting as fat a line as I can, and stopping at the pink, starting at the pink, stopping at the pink. Okay, now you can go all the way down, straight down, till you stop in the neck. However best you can do it. Try not turning your paper side to side. We want all our lines going one direction. I'm going to go ahead and start over here and work my way up the neck now. Gotta straighten my line out a little bit because I'm going crooked. I was following the neck. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to get those white lines. I'm just going to use the tip here, fill those in. Okay, I've got the pink part of my bird done. I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to color the eye in black, leaving that little circle undone. And with the Sharpie, it's okay if you scribble scrabble, but just be careful at your edges. Take your time. I know I'm going a little fast for the sake of the length of the video. Okay, I got that colored in. Now I'm going to go ahead and color in the beak. We probably could have used a gray, and it would have worked too, because Crayola gray is pretty dark. And we're really not going to be able to see our beak line with this dark pen. Well, we can see it a little bit. We can just reinforce that line. Okay. Now we're going to put our shadow on, and we're going to go ahead and use orange for that. And we're going to put it right along here. And we're going to put it right here above the beak. And we're going to put it here on this part right here, under the eye and behind the beak. And on up the neck, and now down the front of the neck. We're going to draw a line, and we're going to fill that in with orange. Make a beautiful shadow on the front of the bird. Okay, and we're going to do a little one here on the top of the head. And I'm going to turn my paper to do that. And it's just going to be on the very top of the head, a thin line. Okay, now for your background, you can use your Blue Lagoon. And I want you to inline your rectangle, or the edge of your paper. If you didn't draw a rectangle, I didn't ask you to. I always have that done ahead of time. So you can go around the edge of your paper. Now, if you'll notice, the picture we're doing right now in markers is much brighter than this one. This one was done in watercolors. Okay, and now I'm going to go around my bird, my flamingo, with the Blue Lagoon. If you don't have a blue lagoon, have whatever light blue marker, use whatever light blue marker that you have. Okay, and go ahead and outline all the way around the bird. Okay, now I'm going to start at the very top up here using as much as the tip as I can and start doing lines down. Now I'm going to do this all the way across. Filling in as I go if I've left any white spots. Oh, I didn't get the inside of the bird's neck here. Go ahead and do that now. There we go. Now when you come to the bird, you can stop and start. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm right to the blue now around the bird. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to start stopping. I went a little crooked there. And again, if you miss, just go back and catch it. Okay, but I think you can do the rest of this on your own. So go ahead and keep on coloring and have fun.